Can Johnny Football become Johnny Heisman? We're going to find out in just a couple of days. And joining me now on the phone to talk about the Heisman race, our college football writer, Steve Greenberg. And Steve, I know you got a vote in this thing, so bottom line, who are you going to vote for?
Going with Johnny Football. I can't say I'm thrilled about it, Tom, but it does seem like the right thing to do. You know, the Heisman sometimes is just one clear guy, and you get behind it and you ride the wave, and sometimes it's a process of elimination. For me, this was more the latter. I mean, I do think Manziel deserves it, and obviously he's got record numbers, beat Cam Newton's all-time SEC total yardage mark. 4,600 total yards is great. A 10-2 record in the first year in the SEC is way better than anybody expected. So I don't mean to suggest that he doesn't really deserve it, but there wasn't, nevertheless, to me, anyone else who was anywhere close to transcendent, and it was a kind of a downfield, you know, and some of these other guys also faded late a little bit.
Is there anything systemic about it being downfield, or is it just one of those years?
No, it's one of those years. It's too recent that it was an all-time great kind of a field to me, 2011 with RG3 and Andrew Luck, but also with Trent Richardson, you know, who was a singularly dominant physical marvel at the best program in college football. Monte Ball, who had maybe statistically the best season ever by a running back, or certainly of the past 20 years or more. And you know, that's all the same field, and then you had the great story with the Honey Badger. You know, this is nothing compared to that. But it's only 1 year later, so no, I wouldn't say it's anything about a trend or anything like that. It's just a season when, you know, there weren't breakaway offensive numbers for whatever reasons.
Now, as far as I know who you're voting for, do you feel like the thing is going to go to Johnny Manziel? I mean, certainly from an attention standpoint, I feel like the spotlight has kind of ended up focused on him. You think he's going to win this thing?
Well, let's start with this. Colin Klein's going to finish a very distant third. That's what I think I do know at this point. But Manti Te'o has maybe an outside shot. I mean, if you look at some of the polling that's been done out there, Houston Chronicle poll I'd point people to that, you know, talked to, I think, 69 voters from somewhere close to 20 states. It was very, very tight between Manziel and Te'o, and maybe I think it was 38 votes to 30. But if you took away the Southwest, Te'o had a slight lead. So that's just a sliver of the whole thing. But I feel like Te'o will be pretty close. Manziel will win it, though. And frankly, with Te'o, he was good down the stretch, but not great. I think if he would have had, you know, one or two more memorable performances late, he would have won it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It seems like a higher bar for a defensive guy just because without the ball in his hands, it's hard to have as many signature plays that you can kind of call back up in your mind's eye and say, wow, I remember that. No
doubt. And when I talk about a process of elimination, to me, you know, if I can't answer the question about Te'o, is he really the best defensive player in the country? I can't answer that definitively unless I'm kind of faking it. And I have admittedly done that a couple of times too, but I don't think I can say that very clearly. And if you can't, if I suspect maybe it's Jarvis Jones, maybe it's Jadeveon Clowney, then he shouldn't get my vote, and he didn't. But he did get my number 3 vote, and that did come down to, you know, what I think he means to his team, and then his team's success in going unbeaten and getting to the title game. He deserves to be in New York, to me, no doubt about it, but I don't think he deserves to win.
All right, there you go. Steve, thanks so much for your time today.
All right, thank you, Tom.